DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.
Buster Douglas knocking out Buster Douglas, the fat bump, the legend.
Yo, this is Chris Caban chilling with my man EJ Boxing Live, one of the hottest, dopest boxing channels on YouTube. Check him out.
The boxing needs some rounds on the EJ Live.
Okay, so how's the training well going for Mr. Muhammad, man? Like we know you was with Badou Jackie's fighting James the Girl. You had your little breakup. How's that going? And what's the future saying? What's happening?
Well, the future is always going to be bright for me because I know I make world champions. That's what I do. Badou Jack was very unfaithful. You know, he I mean, I brought him from nowhere to becoming a world champion. And for him to do what he did to me, you know, that's very disrespectful. And I have no more respect for him. Even if he asks me to come back, I would never come back.
Okay, even if he apologized and realized the error of his ways?
He can't. No, he can't. He can apologize all he wants, but I would never go back to him.
So, Mr. Muhammad,
yeah.
Was it a financial decision or a boxing decision? In your opinion, for him, why do you think he did it?
Listen, put yourself in his place. If I'm training you and you came to the United States with nothing, no, it was perfect. Balls to tell me to my face, you have to text me.
That's lousy.
You know, I treated him like a son. You know, we never had a problem. We never had an argument. There was nothing wrong. Nothing, but there's so much larceny going on in his life that he listens to people that he shouldn't listen to. You know, like I just said, I took him to the top of the heap in his field, his chosen field, which is to become a boxer. Okay, I made him a world champion. You can't get no higher than that.
So, I saw you and Lou DeVal a little while. You seemed like you was getting on, but apparently, was that a facade for the camera, or what's the real picture in the whole camp? What was really happening?
Say that again.
You and Lou DeVal. I saw. It seemed like you two got on when I saw an earlier video, pretty well. But it did. Obviously, there was trouble. How did he play a role in you and dissolving your partnership with Badou?
Well, it's like this. I tell it like it is. Lou DeVal had a problem. He had a substance abuse problem.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And in order for you to be in my corner, I'm not having that. You know, I'm not having that. And then Lou, there's plenty of times where I'll talk to Lou and tell him, listen, you know, I'll take you to the doctor, to wherever you want to go, to make you get better. You know what I'm saying? But he always said, well, I'm gonna go. And one time he told me, you know, he told me that he was pissing blood. That's when I really got serious to say, well, I need to take you to the doctor, man.
Wow.
But, you know, he didn't want to go. So listen, all I can do is extend a helping hand. If he don't want to go, that's on him.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not having, you come into the corner smelling like alcohol. You know, it's not the first time or the second time. You know what I'm saying? So if Badou likes that sort of stuff, then he can have it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need Badou. You know, like I said, I make champions. That's what I do.
Man, I just want to say, I'm the oldest one in the hangout, man, and I've known you from as a kid. So I feel kind of privileged to talk to you. So I'm a bit geeked up right now. But EJ, you got any questions? Because EJ hooked this up. EJ? Anyone else got a question?
I got a question. I got a question. I got a question.
I got a question. My bad.
Oh, go ahead,
Y'all can
DJ.
Oh, sorry, Umar. Yeah, can you hear me, Mr. Mohammed?
Yeah, go.
No, you got to talk up a little. You got to talk up a little louder.
Can you hear me? Hello?
A little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. Umar asked a question. I'll jump on something else and come up. So
All right, Mr. Muhammad, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take it out of boxing because I know your history because my father was a big fan of yours. I just want to ask you about what was it like back in your time growing up in Brownsville? That's the only question I want to ask you because you're a man after my own heart coming from my hometown.
Well, you know, it was kind of rough growing up because, you know, I mean, if you know the history of Brownsville, you know that it was Murder Incorporated was born in Brownsville. You know, where all the gangsters hung out at on the Boynton and Saratoga Avenue. That's Brownsville. And, you know, I mean, this is where they had hits, you know, I mean, murders. I mean, it was unreal. And Murder Incorporated headquarters was right in the heart of Brownsville. So, I mean, listen, it is what it is, but I escaped a lot of that. You know, I just worked hard, and I was always focused on what I wanted to do. And when I found boxing, I found my niche.
Absolutely.
You know, tournaments. I was an alternate on the 72 Olympic team, so I think I did pretty good to stay out of a lot of trouble as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, can you hear me, Mr. Mohammed?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I was wondering, yeah, because I'm the EJ Boxing Live, the one who messaged you on Facebook. Privileged to talk to you. Yeah, I was wondering, how did you come up with the name The Flame? And another thing as well, the style, the way you fight. To me, when I look at you, because I was watching your fight, I've got a playlist that's watching all your fights. Like you fight like jazz, like so smooth and relaxed. Like the commentators were saying at the time that you don't work enough. But to me, it was like you was listening to some jazz or some music. But yeah, how did you come up with the name The Flame?
Well, you know what it is. My former manager had a restaurant called Flame Steak Restaurant. But you know, I mean, and he just called me The Flame. But I just think my style was real smooth. You know, I never. If I got hit with a great shot, I would never change my facial expression. You know what I'm saying? I just keep it like it was and just keep on doing what I'm doing. Eventually, I'm going to weigh you down, you know, with a good jab and a lot of head movement. So if you hit me with one shot, I'm not going to get hit with that shot again. So, you know, everything behind the jab and, you know, real smooth, you know? That's the way I did it.
Yeah, and I talked to Mr. Bashir, your big friend, Mr. James Ali Bashir. We talk to him all the time, so he was telling us to talk to you for quite a long time. We talk to him all the time. He told me, if you want to look at any footage to break down the southpaw, look at Eddie Mustafa versus Marvin Johnson. Man, listen, I'm at the gym. I'm around like amateur fighters. In fact, one of my trainers actually wants to come to Vegas, so I don't know if he can try and link you up next week, or he's coming. I think he's going next week. You guys can try and meet up because he needs some sort of exchange. I don't know when we'll sort that after. But how do you come across how do you work out how to break down on southpaw? And Marvin Johnson was a powerful puncher, man. The way you broke him down was beautiful, man. Left hooks to the body, uppercuts. Like, tell us how you game plan to break down the powerful Marvin Johnson to win your first title.
Well, I went in there with a plan. You know, when Marvin threw his right jab, I would always dip to my left side where I can throw one hook to the body and one hook to the head. And that would turn him in, you know, and that's what I did. Every time he threw his jab, I would just dip to the side, body, head with the hook. You know, uppercuts was right there. Everything was right there. So I hadn't worried about my left hook instead of my right hand. And then when he started to worry about the right hand, I give him the left hook. So it was I'm not going to say the fight was easy, but like I said, we had a plan. We went in with a good plan, and I executed the plan to the fullest. And the body shots, he never knew that I could punch that hard to the body.
Yeah.
And, that was my forte, strictly body punching. And that's how I wore him out, with body punches.
Hey, bro, you made it look so easy. Exactly what you said. I mean, this is exactly how you said it. That's exactly what you did against a fearsome puncher. Another thing I want to say, so you had another title defense, and then after that title defense, you called out Larry Holmes. You said you wanted to fight Larry Holmes, and you went up to fight Ronaldo Snipes. I know what happened there, but why did you feel at that point you could beat Larry Holmes? You said he talking too much. Because I remember the interview now. I was watching it like 2 days ago. Why did you feel that you could beat Larry Holmes at that point?
Yeah. Listen, we're in the boxing business. I mean, if you have any doubt in your mind that you can't beat anybody that's in front of you, then you're in the wrong business. Sure, I could beat Larry Holmes, no doubt. That's how much confidence I had in myself. I boxed a lot of heavyweights, and I've done good with a lot of heavyweights. I mean, Larry was a great fighter. You can't take that away from him. But, and I don't pat myself on the back, but I know what I'm capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
I punched as hard as Larry did, and I wasn't afraid of Larry. I went right to him and let my hands go, and, I was faster than Larry. It is what it is. You can't go into a boxing ring whereas you have the slightest doubt in your mind that you're not going to win. See, that's not in my mind. My mind is going in and knock you out, and that's it.
Boy, you did that, man. Did you feel like you could become a heavyweight champion at the time? Because your contemporary Spinks.
I could have became the heavyweight champion, no doubt in my mind. And I thought I'd beat Ronaldo Snipes. Ronaldo, good guy, but all he did was run. He didn't stay in front of me. And before I fought Ronaldo, I was in the hospital for the duration of the training camp because I threw my back out of place. And I didn't want to pull out the fight because I knew I could beat Ronaldo, but he just ran faster. And here's a guy that almost knocked Larry Holmes out.
Yep.
And he's running from me. I think at that time I only weighed about maybe like 200 pounds. But I was a good, strong 200 pounds, right? And I put that pressure on Ronaldo. And he felt that power, so he didn't want to stay in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
He just ran, But he did what he did. He won the fight. I'm not mad about it. Listen, he to get him out of there. He didn't stay in front of me. So that's how that was.
In retrospect, yeah, you see the Spinks, right? Do you feel like you shouldn't have went up to fight Ronaldo? You should have stayed there chilling to get the Spinks. Do you feel like that had a bearing because of to get down to make that weight? Look, Roy Jones had the same trouble now. Roy Jones went up to fight John Maurice, and then he came back down to fight Tarba in the same thing. Do you feel like that weight drop was so much that made a difference in the fight? And also in the chat, people asking how do you rate Spinks' power? And one more question after that. How did the James Scott fight come in? So asking about the weight have any problem going into that?
Well, the weight coming down 25 pounds, that's a lot of weight to come down. But like I said, I had confidence in my ability, my determination, and the fact that, I'm in there. If you're going to beat me, you're going to have to beat me decisively. Here I am defending world champion when I fought Michael Spinks. And, it was a great fight. I had to, and you got to realize one thing. The weigh-in was the day of the fight. It wasn't the day before the fight.
Yeah.
The weigh-in was the day of the fight, and we had to fight that same day. So I dropped all that weight and still had to fight him that same day. And like I said, I believe in myself. If you want to fight me for the title, you want to take my title, you got to bring it. I'm not going to just lay it out because it's hard for me to make the weight. I'm going to give you pure hell. And that's what I did. I gave Michael Spinks pure hell. He knocked me down in the 11th round. I got up, dusted my trunks off, and went right back at him.
Yeah, okay, but the first fight was obviously called off between you and Spinks. and people say that's the reason why a day before. There's a lot of I think you've got side of how you feel that went down. Now, a lot of people blame you, but you've obviously got your argument. What's your how would you describe that? What happened?
Well, you know what? I made the weight because the night before the fight, I weighed 174 pounds. Now this is the night before the fight, and you know we went to the doctor because my trainer at the time, Manny Shaka, he bit his tongue and he had these stitches in his tongue. So I jumped on a scale. I weighed 174 pounds, and this is at night. I'm gonna dry out, so I should come in maybe a little light, maybe 73, you know. And that's what I did. And they brought some scales that were never calibrated, you know. And they said I came in 177 pounds, which was pure BS. You know, the correct weight that I came in was 174. And then when they found out, Bert Sugar, the late Bert Sugar, used to be editor of the Ring magazine. He found 2 sacks of flour, and he put those 2 sacks of flour on the same scale and found out that I was right. The scale was off. Because the flour weighed 2 pounds, was supposed to weigh 2 pounds, but it was over 2 pounds. So I was right. The bottom line is, they didn't want to fight me because when I was training for the fight, Eddie Futz, the late Eddie Futz, was watching me train, and I didn't throw him out the gym. Confidence I had in myself and in my ability. I told Mr. Futz, I said, you can come in and sit down because, you know, you're not going to be feeling these punches. Michael is. And he saw me knock out a couple of heavyweights. And he told Michael that I'm too strong for you. That's why Michael never wanted to fight. A lot of people don't know that when they said I couldn't make the weight, we signed the contract to fight a non-title 10-rounder that same day. And he pulled out altogether. The bottom line is he did not want to fight me because Mr. Futz saw how great condition mentally and physically I was. And I would not be denied that day. So, and I don't blame him because I was going for the serious knockout, and I would have knocked Michael out in the rematch.
Yep. Okay. I like there's a lot. We got a lot of young people listening to this show.
Beast, when you're done, let me get one more question. No,
I'm sorry.
No disrespect. No disrespect.
One second, man. Let me just ask a question. Right? Michael Spinks is unfairly remembered for the last fight against Tyson. Can you explain to some people that that fight shouldn't define Michael Spinks? Why it shouldn't?
No, Michael was a great fighter. One fight shouldn't define an individual. Michael Spinks was a great fighter. He is the only one, the only light heavyweight, and the first one, the only light heavyweight champion to move up in weight and win the heavyweight title. Michael was a great fighter. You can't take that away from him. So one fight cannot define his career. And that it shouldn't be like that. Michael was a great fighter. And I'm proud to say I fought Michael Spinks to a standstill.
Yeah.
You know, so he was a great fighter. You know, you can't take that away from him. You gotta realize one thing, you know, when Mike Tyson hits you or anybody else, you're going to sleep. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. And it's from the same.
Can I ask a question in a minute, Beats?
All right, and then Ben, and then hand it over to brother. Go, Ben.
All right, this is just one question I always want to ask because this is the fight that never happened, and I will say this ahead of time. I'll be biased towards you because you the brother from the hill that's real. But how do you figure the fight would have went between you and the Camden Buzzsaw, Dwight Muhammad Kawi? How do you think that fight would have went?
It's so funny you should ask me that. We went to go see Mike Tyson in prison one day. Me and Dwight So we spent about 2 hours talking to Mike in the prison. So we were on our way to the airport. So Dwight asked me, he said, what would have happened if me and you would have fought? And I told him, I said, man, I'd have knocked you out, man. I mean, come on, man.
Keep it real.
I would be less of a fighter if I say, oh, well, I think you would have beat me, or I don't know. Listen, we in the fight business. This is what we do. If you think you can beat me, step to the plate, let's find out. Yeah. And I told him just like that. I said, man, I'd have knocked you out, man, no problem. I said, I was too cool for you, man. I'm not going to get hit by that. I see you coming, and he laughed. He's a funny guy. He laughed that off. But, we never fought, and that's, those things happen. I fought Saad, I beat Saad in his hometown in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
My career was okay. I'm not, tap myself on the back. I had a great career. So I just sit back and reminisce. I think I knocked out 40 guys, but it is what it is.
Man, you're a legend. You're a legend. To everyone there, legendary boxer, as far as we're concerned.
A legit legend, and I appreciate you giving me the time to even ask you a question.
Yeah. Go ahead, blogger. Go ahead, UK blogger.
What's your favorite fighters? Like, if you had to list 3 of your favorite fighters of all time, like, who are they and why?
My favorite fighters of all time,
your personal favorites.
I'm a Lee fan. I'm a Ray Robinson fan. I like guys that can box and guys that can punch and guys that can hit without getting hit. Those are the type of guys I like. You see, I'm 64 years old, and you guys didn't hear me study yet.
Yep.
You know why? Because I move my head, and I teach all my guys that I work with. First and foremost, head movement, defense. The name of the game is I hit you, but you don't hit me. Not I hit you and you hit me back. It don't work like that. Yep. I've been blessed. I studied the game.
Can I ask you another question? In your opinion...
Let the man flow in, man.
Sorry, man.
Thank you, man. I'll ask you a question.
In your opinion, how good was Mike Tyson really?
Say that again?
In your opinion, like, how good was Mike Tyson really as a fighter? Because it often causes a lot of debate.
Mike was a great fighter. Listen, Mike gave the people what they wanted to see. That's pure knockouts. That's what they want. People come to see you another fighter render another fighter unconscious. And that's what Mike did. He would knock you out, and people pay to see that. That's just how it is.
One question I've always wanted to ask you, like, in the 80s, obviously you converted to Islam. Dwight Muhammad Cowley did, and so did Matthew Saad Muhammad. Was there a conscious movement out there that you guys were coming away from mainstream religion? Because like you're all in the light heavyweight division, like coincidentally.
Well, to me, that was the best thing that ever happened to me, is to convert to Islam, because it opened my eyes to a different way of life. Islam means peace. That's all we all want in our lives. Peace.
Inshallah.
Islam, the way it took me into another direction, I embrace that wholeheartedly. And to this day, I will die a Muslim.
Absolutely.
Let me get one in, EJ.
Oh, you're sorry, now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, peace, brother. I just wanted to know what got you into training. I know you love boxing. We all know you as a former light heavyweight champion. What got you into training? And a two-part question. And as far as Chad Dawson, one of your former champions, what's your relationship with him, and could we ever see you back in his corner?
Funny you should ask that. About 10 minutes ago, I just got off the phone with Chad. You know, listen, when I started working with Chad, I brought him to the top of his game. You know, I don't know what happened in that relationship, but he visited me out here in Vegas about 3 weeks ago. And we sat and talked. And he said that I will be back out here for you to train me for my next fight. You know, I never had a problem. Listen, one thing about me, if you want to leave, you go ahead.
All right.
But at the end of the day, you're going to see that all the people that they call trainers, I don't call myself a trainer. I'm a teacher.
Yep.
I teach the art of hit, not get hit. This is what I do. And I do it very well. And I never said, or I never will say that I am the best trainer in the world. I never would say that. My work speaks for itself.
Yes.
You know, I like to let my work speak for itself. You know, I've got brand new guys in the gym. I got guys that come to me from all over the world. I've been blessed. You know, I teach the art of hitting without getting hit. You know, and I've been doing pretty good with that. You know, I've made guys world champions who people would never think to become world champions.
Multiple. You have multiple world champions, sir.
Right. I just keep, you know, I'm blessed. You know, God has blessed me in a way where I enjoy what I do, and I just keep turning world champions over and over and over and over again. Again, I don't have the big head. I never will get the big head because Allah keeps me grounded. You know, so I enjoy what I do. I enjoy going to the gym, putting the work in, seeing guys when I tell them to do a certain move and they do it and it works, and I see the smile on their faces, and they come back and say, "Man, look, you know, you know what you're talking about." Yes, I know what I'm talking about because I've been there and done that. I've been 15 rounds. They don't do that no more.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I've been, like I said, I've been blessed, and all I do is make champions. I have guys are in line to fight for world titles. You know, I just got a text from WBC president Mauricio Suleiman asking me to come to the WBC convention December 10th, but just to be on a panel to speak about what it takes to become a great trainer. Now, this is what he said. I didn't say that I was a great trainer. He said,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so yeah, I'll be there. I accept that invitation, and I'll be there. You know, and I like talking about boxing. Boxing is a great sport, but then you have a lot of people that try to break the sport down. You know, but you know, there's too many good people in boxing to have that, to break that sport down. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So I'm having a good time. I'm going to go to the convention, speak my piece, and just continue to make more champions. And don't be surprised if Chad Dawson regains the world title again.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I just wanted to ask you, so your passion to teach is really what got you into training, is what you're saying.
Exactly, because I you know,
all right,
this is what I do. You know, like I said, I'm 64 years old, and I don't stutter. You don't have me stuttering. A lot of guys that came before me, came after me, came up with me. A lot of these guys are, you know, they're you know, stuttering. It's hard for them to speak. hard for him to hold a conversation. You know, I've been able to hold conversations with kings and queens and presidents and assemblymen and senators. I've been blessed to do that. Why? Because I move my head. That's the bottom line.
Yep.
Yep. Gotta move your head, young boxers. Gotta move your head.
Absolutely, man. I got one more question. Yeah. Sergio Kovalev they regard him they're already like one of the greatest, not really greatest, one of the best light heavyweight champions. How do you think you would have fared face to face him, and how do you think Andre Ward's gonna do against him? In fact, how do you think Chad Dawson will do against him if there was to face?
Got one style, straightforward. Okay, he's got one style that's straightforward. But if you're to beat Kovalev, you can't go backwards, you know, because he wants you to go backwards until you get into the ropes, and then he can, you know, let his hands go and put a hurt on you. With Kovalev, you have to go side to side. In boxing, you have to have a great left jab, and you have to have great balance, because you can turn on a dime, your shots off, and step around Kovalev. You cannot go backwards. You gotta step around him. And the fight has to be in the middle of the ring, not in the corners. It's very simple.
Yep.
Who you got? Before he goes, who you got winning? SOG, Andre Ward, or Kovalev?
Hold on. Hold on.
Let me give you a scenario. When Chad Dawson, when he fought Adamic, same style as Kovalev. Though I was not in the corner with Chad Dawson, he always came to me and asked me for my advice. He said, "How do I beat Kovalev?" And I told him how to beat Kovalev. The Chad, very simple. You have to have that good right jab, because Chad is southpaw. I said, you have to have a good right jab and step around him. Keep the fight in the middle of the ring. Step around him. Believe me, you'll beat him up. Maybe, I think after the fight, maybe Adamic won probably 1 or 2 rounds, you know. But Chad won the fight easy. And he came back and told me, he said, "Man, look here, I appreciate how you told me to beat him. And now I want you to be my trainer."
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure Mr. Muhammad got a lot of things, so maybe 1 or 2 more, and then we'll wrap. This one.
Michael from Power Pound just jumped in. We're talking to Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, the legend, light heavyweight. Have you ever? Hey, B Marsh, have you ever a question?
Yeah, I've been had a question.
Go ahead, B Marsh.
Hey, Mr. Muhammad, I wanted to ask you about your last shot at a title fight when you had to go overseas. You had to go over there and fight the man. What's his name? That Yugoslavian guy. I wanted to know your mentality going into that fight, how you felt about getting your final title shot, and tell me if you agreed with the decision by the judges.
Let me explain something to you. And I'm not a sore loser. If I was to lose a fight, I would tell you that I lost the fight. I pillar to post. I beat him so bad that after they announced the decision, they had a dinner for us. They took that young man from the ring to the hospital. And he, if I'm not mistaken, he did not fight for a whole 1.5 years. And I beat him.
Yeah, you won that fight well.
Yes, I beat him fair and square. You know, like I said,
no question.
Which is right down the block from Yugoslavia. So I was in a no-win situation, but I put a hurting on him that, you know, he knew it, and everybody that attended the fight knew it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it. From 85, you beat him. He didn't fight until 86, late 86.
He fought Bobby Chaz. That should have been your title.
He couldn't fight no more. He couldn't fight no more. I beat him that bad.
Yes, sir. That was your title, man. I had you winning that fight as well.
Karsaya, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, friend of mine sent me the tape of the fight, and I beat him to the body so bad, you know, like he was like done. And we went 15 rounds,
Yeah.
beat him up. But like I said, and you know, I love boxing. Tell it like it is. Boxing is so corrupt. It is so corrupt. You know, they got their guys who they want to win fights. And that's how that is. After I beat a Slobodan Kaczor, Bobby Ches, like I said, they waited till a year and a half after the fight because he had a mandatory, which was Bobby Ches. And Bobby told him, I think he hit him with a jab, and the fight was over. You know, that's how bad I beat him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he was shot by the time Chiz got to him. Definitely shot.
He was done.
Yeah.
You could have stuck a fork in him. The game was over.
Go ahead, Michael. Mike, you have a question?
Yeah, well, I hope you guys hear me well. For Mr. Muhammad, this is a question about training. I remember watching some videos of Bernard Hopkins, and he was essentially saying that the problem with boxing today, from a training perspective, that you got a lot of trainers as opposed to guys who really teach. I've heard Mr. Bashir, who's been on this on here as well, essentially say the same thing. I want your thoughts on the idea of in boxing today, the notion of trainers versus teachers. Your thoughts on that, please.
Well, I never call myself a trainer. I'm a teacher. Because people come, and I've been blessed because people come to me from all over the world. I've had them come to me from as far as China, Africa. You know, I don't know how they got my name. I guess they read a lot about boxing. And they come to me and ask me, can you show me, can you teach me how to do this? I got guys that don't even speak English, but they know my name. You know, again, I'm blessed. I thank God every day that I can get up that I love to do. That is teaching the art of hitting without getting hit. You know, and I got guys that come to me from Romania, and they want to learn how to, you know. So I mean, again, I'm blessed. I can't do this without Almighty Allah.
Yeah. This is 1 minute. This is the last thing. So my friend is
my brain, the whole 9 yards.
Definitely. My friend is coming to trainers from my gym is coming to Vegas next week, and he needs someone. He's coming to Floyd Mayweather Gym. Are you still at the Floyd Mayweather Gym? You still training there?
I'm at Floyd Gym every day.
Yeah, he's okay. He's coming to the gym. So, is it all right if he give you your details and you and him when he comes to Vegas, you and him can meet up because he's another trainer over here. We've got our own gym over here. So that's IQ Boxing, Neasden Boxing Club. So we're a local club in Northwest London. So he's come over to get experience. So I said, well, we talking, you can't get more experience than any Mustafa than Muhammad. So I felt like, even though I want to interview, because all of us on the panel, we really want to talk to you, it'd be good for him to come over and to get, be around you as well. So you could, you know, show him the ropes as he speaks. So is that all right? Yeah, when he comes over next week, that you could link up?
Yeah. Come on over. It's not a problem. Listen. I have time for everybody. Just because I'm who I am, at the end of the day, we're all equal. I love to sit with you guys over spotted tea. You know what I'm saying? Relax. You know how we roll.
Yeah.
You know, you got to realize I'm not going to ever change. I'm going to be Eddie Mustafa Muhammad until I die.
Nice one.
Obviously, you got to realize one thing. By being around Muhammad Ali, anybody just asked me for an autograph, I would give it to him. I don't care if there's a line around the corner and everybody wants an autograph. I'm going to sign every autograph because people pay. They pay to see me fight, and I owe that to them. That autograph, you know, that speaking engagement, that time to talk. Like I said, I don't think I'm better than anybody. we're all equal. So I'm going to die thinking that.
Man.
I agree, man.
Yeah, so yo, we really appreciate your time, man. Like, beautiful interview, man. Like, you know, great insights, as we knew it would be. You know?
Hey, Mr. Mohammed.
Hey, you guys ever see John Conti today?
Well, I saw him, back in the day from Liverpool. Yes, he was a great light heavyweight champion from our country. Yeah.
Yeah, I respect him big time. I'm just sorry that we never fought.
Yeah.
But, I always respected him. I always liked the way he carried himself. Being a gentleman,
Yeah.
He was a great champion. I would have always thought that I would love to match my skills against his skills.
Yeah. Good fighter, man. Like, he beat the likes of Yaki Lopez, Matthew Saad ended his career. He fought the Finnegans. I'm trying to remember who he won the title from now.
He won the title from Jorge Ayumada.
That's the guy. That's the guy. Is that the guy who beat Bob Foster, actually?
So they fought to a draw.
Yeah.
And then they stripped Bob.
Yeah.
Bob was up in age. Bob was a good guy. Bob was one of my heroes. And let me give you a quick story one day. I used to go to Albuquerque because I was training Johnny Tapia. And then I was training Danny Romero. So I would see Bob time to time. And we would just kick it. So one day, I went to the gym and Bob said, yo, let's call me champ. Yo, champ. He said, what do you think would have happened if me and you would have fought? Again. I said, Bob, I would have knocked you out, man. So Bob, I'm laughing. You hear that funny laugh. Yeah, right. You could have done nothing. He said, I'd have kept you at the end of my jab. I said, Bob, I'm watching how you throw your jab. I said, when you threw your jab, you brought your left hand down. And I told him, I said, I'd have came with a right hand and I would have knocked you into the next zip code. He looked at me and started laughing. But we had a good relationship like that.
Yeah.
Me and Bob could talk like that. He was a good person, and I say that to say that's how much respect I got for Bob Foster. He was a great light heavyweight champion.
Oh, definitely.
And I said, I don't know what would happen. But
I think Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta let Chris get.
Yeah, I had an old fight with Mustafa Muhammad and Benny Briscoe. I like Benny Briscoe, and I read an article of you talking about him last year. Y'all was real close.
Oh, I fought Benny when I was a middleweight. Yeah. And I thought I beat him. I boxed him. He couldn't hit me. I think Benny won, maybe, in my opinion, he won probably about 2 rounds. But I outboxed him. But then again, when you fight guys in their hometown, and they're like hero-like status that they have, if you go the distance, you're not going to get it. I beat Benny fair and square. Like I said, I respect him. I respect all fighters. When Benny passed away, I went to the funeral because I respect guys like that. His fault that he got the decision, but he knew that he was in a fight. When he fought me, it was a great fight, and we were toe to toe. And I thought I beat him fair and square, but they said it was a split decision. But I just sucked it up and said, okay, no problem. That's when I knew world champion.
That's what's up.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. It's been a pleasure. I'm grateful.
Mr. Bishop, we're gonna do it again, though, man. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna keep in touch, though. We're gonna keep in touch, man.
Okay, you guys, feel free to call me anytime. You guys come into the Las Vegas area.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem. I'm the first guy to bring world champions to the money team. I brought Floyd his first 2 world champions to the money team.
Well, who were they? So just
Okay, they were number 1. E.J. Smith
Badou,
was the first world champion to on the money team, and then I brought Badou Jack the trader. You know, I brought him. You know, and I got a whole lot of guys that'll be world champions.
Okay.
That on the money came. So, like I said, I don't worry about Badou. And everybody talking about it. Plus, he has a hard fight with Miguel coming up. You know, I don't wish no bad luck on him because I don't do that.
Who's going to win?
You want to leave? Go ahead and leave. I don't know, and I really don't care. You know?
How long would it take in your prime to knock him out? If you and Badou Jack?
So funny. I have a guy that's in the same weight division as Badou Jack. And as a matter of fact, he beat Badou Jack in the amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, his name is Ronald Garville. You know, he just fought 3 weeks ago. Knocked the guy out in the 10th round. Great fight. Ronald is a great puncher with both hands.
We're going to keep an eye on him. We're going to keep an eye on him and all your fighters, Mr. Muhammad.
I just want to ask one question for me. I see we're going to keep it here forever, right? How did the James Scott fight come about in Rahway Prison? How did that come about?
That's a good question.
The money. How all fights come about? The money. So listen, James Scott beat me fair and square. You know, beat me fair and square. At that point in my career, I was winning fights so easy that, you know, you kind of skip a day of training here, day of training there, and, you know, that's what I did. But I'm not taking anything away from James Scott. He beat me fair and square.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to say thank you to the legend, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Big up yourself. Every time we'll do it again. Very soon.
Hey, my guy will see you in Vegas next week, man, so we can keep in touch.
Come on down to the gym. Come on down to the gym with us. That we talk, and, you know, we can kick it, no problem.
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad. Take care.
All right, guys. You guys take care now.
Peace.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.
Buster Douglas knocked him out. Buster Douglas, the fat bump, the legend. I mean,